I'm Larry Cannon, and I am the one who created this sculpture called Mobius Ascending. I have been making sculptures for a long time. I fell in love with some sculpture in the Museum of Modern Art in New York, and I have experimented with stone and with wood. I love the form. I love the pleasure of shaping things to produce beauty. And I hope I will always have that appreciation for form. Some of my sculptures happen to have some mathematical relations, and that's a bonus. A Mobius strip, it turns out, is a strip of a loop of paper which has only one edge and one side, one face and one. My sculpture, Mobius Ascending, is a solid piece that has only one edge and one face. And I could get that by starting with, you have to use your imagination a little bit. You take a solid piece of wood and somehow join the ends of the thing, but all of the cross sections are triangles, and you twist it by 1/3, and you get this thing that I have called Mobius Ascending. Now we're going to do a little paper play. We're going to make a strip of paper into a special loop by putting a little tape on this. And this thing has a top and a bottom, and an inside and an outside. And if we were to cut it, just take down the midline, what are we going to get? You're all familiar with the idea. You're going to get a pair of things that are just alike. Still has an inside and an outside, and a top and a bottom on both pieces. Now, the thing that becomes interesting is when we change this, instead of simply putting the ends together, we're going to give it a twist. Making it twist creates what is called a Mobius strip. So instead of just combining them as we did before, we're going to put a twist in this process. And now we tape the ends. And the interesting thing is that now we don't have a top and a bottom and an inside and an outside. We have only one edge. One edge. Now what I'm going to do is I'll hold it with my hand there. I'm going to move along here, keeping track of what happens to that edge. When I come around, I have to move my hand because that doesn't work all the way around. I'm careful. So I keep going, and I keep going, and I keep going, and I keep going. And there is only one edge and one face. And if we were to split it down the middle, what would happen to it? You saw that when we do this with an ordinary piece of paper, we strip it down, we cut it down the middle now. Of course, this is a longer cut because there is only one edge work and one side. And when we put it together, when I finish this, what are we going to get? Two pieces that are just like the ones we started with, right? Whoops. we don't have two pieces. We have only one piece. Dividing this Mobius strip along its center axis gives us another twisted, curly piece. Let's take a Mobius strip again. So we give it a twist, and we join the edges with some tape, the ends. And now, instead of slicing this down the midline as we did before, what I want to do is just slice it down a line that's about a third of the way from one edge. So even though I'm lifting the pen, I'm really not. About 1/3 of the way from one edge to the other. I'm not going to go all the way around, but just let you see what that looks like. So now I'm going to make the cut about 1/3 of the way across. And so we make the cut fairly carefully, always staying about 1/3 of the way from one side of the only edge there is. And because it's a Mobius strip, it's a long cut, so we have to be patient. Now, if we had taken an ordinary loop and cut it 1/3 of the way, we would have gotten identical copies, just to change the size. But now, with the Mobius strip, when we come back to the end, sure enough, something strange has happened. We have linked strips. Here, what we have is not one piece, but two. They are linked. So maybe the strips are the basis for a lot of magic tricks performed by magicians. We're not magicians, we just get magic results.